Edge of Fate is right around the corner, and in this video, I'm going to be showing you exactly how to prepare, from must-have materials to the best prep strategies. I've got everything you need to be ready the moment the expansion goes live. And the best part, you can all do this solo. If you want to see more guides like this, then be sure to subscribe and don't forget to hit that like button. So without further ado, let's head to this Edge of Fate Ultimate Prep Guide. I want to talk about the most important stuff when it comes to the prep guide for the Edge of Fate. A lot of people really struggle on the materials, so let's start with the golf balls, aka the Ascendant Shard. And when Edge of Fate drops, you're going to want to use this material when it comes to masterworking your armor. And to obtain this, it's pretty easy. You could go to the tower and talk to Master Raoul, and he will have a category called Materials Exchange. You could either purchase these materials from the Raoul. It would cost Enhancement Prisms and also Glimmer. But if you don't want to spend your Prisms or your Glimmer, you could also do Grandmaster Nightfalls. This is the most easy way to obtain Ascendant Shards. Or if you're one of those gamers that don't have a fire team to do Grandmaster Nightfalls, you could do either two things. The first one is going to your Tomb of Want, and what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to activate this reward scripture, and as you activate this, you would have a chance to get either an exotic Engram, an Ascendant Shard, or an Ascendant Alloy. If you don't have the Episode Heresy seasonal activity, you could also go for the Episode Revenant. And in my personal opinion, I would think that Episode Revenant is much easier to acquire Ascendant Alloys and Ascendant Shards. Here's why. You're first going to want to talk to this NPC right here, and once you do, you're going to want to go to the Enriching Tonics, and then on the far right called Resource Tonics, there's going to be these resources. If you don't see any of this, all you got to do is just keep buying any of these tonics to progressively reveal any of the rarer items. So there's going to be two exotic tonics. The first one is Ascendant Alloys and the other one is Ascendant Shards. These are the materials that you would need to purchase these. So all you would have to do is complete activities and defeat enemies, and you would have a chance to get these golf balls. Depending on your RNG, you roughly get between 2 to 3, but you can get more depending again on your RNG. If you're really low on Ascendant Shards, you could basically double dip for that material. All you would have to do is purchase the Ascendant Shard tonic, or you can equip this scripture. But in my personal opinion, I would go for the other one. And as soon as you have that, be sure to run a Grandmaster Nightfall. You can use the in-game LFG, or you can join my Discord. I do a bunch of helps. If you need help, be sure to join Discord. It would be in the description. And as soon as you complete the Grandmaster Nightfall or just get kills, you would have a chance to produce an additional golf ball because of the tonic. But if you don't have the tonic, just complete the match. The next material that you're going to want to max out is the Ascendant Alloys, aka the oranges. This material is specifically towards shaping your crafted weapons to giving them those enhanced perks. Like this one, for example, when you see those arrows above the perk, that's enhanced, which increases the benefits for whatever the perk is. So for each of them, you're going to want to put an orange in them. And in order for you to acquire these Ascendant Alloys, the easiest method is by doing the tonic method, as what I just showed you. Again, go to the resource tonics, and then if you don't have them, be sure to purchase the previous ones to reveal the rarer ones. And then, as you can see the materials here, you can purchase them, and all you have to do is complete activities and defeat combatants to give you a chance to get Ascendant Alloys. You could also do the Tomb of Want strategy, same thing as what I mentioned before. You would have a chance to get any of these three. Here's another strategy if you want to get just specifically Ascendant Alloys. You can basically double dip if you like. What I mean by double dip is that you're going to want to activate your Ascendant Alloy tonic. Once you do, you're going to want to load up this mission in Neomuna. And this mission is called the Weekly Mission Campaign, because if you didn't know, if you were to do it on the Master difficulty, when it comes to the resource drops, as you would see here, the Ascendant Alloy is common, so you're going to be getting it more often. So as you have the exotic Ascendant Alloy tonic activated, you're going to be getting drops as you're killing enemies and completing this mission. That's if you're really struggling on getting a lot of Ascendant Alloys. The next material you're going to want to stockpile on is the material called Enhancement Cores. This one's like a main use when it comes to upgrading your armor, your weapons, etc. And you're going to need a lot of these. The first method to get tons of Enhancement Cores is by you going to your Ghost, and you're going to want to activate this mod called Core Harvest. It would earn bonus cores when completing ritual activities. So as soon as you have that on, it could be Gambit, Crucible, or any Vanguard playlist, you would get additional Enhancement Cores. The second method when it comes to producing tons of Enhancement Cores, this one is kind of pricey, but if you really are running low on cores, be sure to do this. You're first going to want to go to your collections and then go to your armor. Once you're at your armor, go to leveling. Depending on what character you have, just go to leveling and then go onto the other tab, and you can collect any blue armor piece you have. For me, I'm just going to put this chest armor piece, and as soon as you purchase it, go to your character and then inspect that blue chest. Once that is inspected, be be sure to level it up, but as you're leveling it up, you're going to waste a Glimmer, 3 Enhancement Cores, and a Prism. So that's what you're going to see here. That's 1, then it's going to be 2 cores, which is 3, and then is what you see here. You're going to waste 1 Prism and some Glimmer. But as soon as it's level 8, you're going to want to back out, and then you're going to want to dismantle this. So remember how we used 3 Enhancement Cores for this upgrade for this chest piece? Well, if you were to pay attention to the right side, instead of us getting 3, we're going to be getting 6. So at the cost of an Enhancement Prism, you're going to be getting 3 additional Enhancement Cores. So again, if you do have a boatload of Enhancement Prisms, be sure to do this method. And might as well, we're talking about Enhancement Prisms. Here is how you can be able to get a lot of these. There are 3 ways. The first method is on your Ghost again, and instead of you putting Core Harvest, you're going to want to put Prism Harvest. So earn bonus Enhancement Prisms when completing ritual activities. Again, it would be Gambit, Crucible, or Vanguard playlist. The second method is for the Episode Revenant, which comes with the tonics. All you're going to want to do is get this tonic, which is Small Tonic Enhancement Cores. All you got to do is activate it and just complete matches and kill enemies, and you'll have a chance to earn Enhancement Cores. You could also get the purple version of the tonic, so I recommend going for the purple version because the duration will last longer. The third method when it comes to getting a boatload of Enhancement Prisms is by doing Grandmaster Nightfalls, because whenever you complete a Grandmaster Nightfall, it will grant you exotic armor, Ascendant Shards, and enhanced prisms. All right, now you're going to want to store up a bunch of exotic engrams as what you see here. You're going to want to fill up 10 out of 10. Here's why. When they revealed Edge of Fate, they did show off a few exotic armor pieces, one for the Warlock, one for the Titan, and one for the Hunter. And if you guys want to get it early as possible, you're going to want to level up Raoul. And the fastest way for you to level up Raoul is by decrypting exotic engrams. And why we are leveling up Raoul is because once you rank them up once, you're going to get this 4th column, which will allow you to focus any exotic armor piece. So once the new exotic armor piece drops, you're going to see it right here. And all you would have to do is use an exotic engram and a Cipher. But again, you're going to have to max out Raoul 1 time in order for you to do this. So by stockpiling a boatload of exotic engrams, this is the main method to level up Raoul because exotics give the highest amount of XP for him. So there is 2 ways for you to stockpile on XP. Here's the first method. You're going to want to do Master Lost Sectors because if you were to do it solo, you would have a higher of a chance to acquire these exotic engrams. So you would have to defeat all of the champions within the Lost Sector, open the cache, and if you don't get the exotic, rinse and repeat. If you don't like doing this method, here's the second method. You're going to want to complete this challenge, and it says just to complete ritual activities. So if you were to complete 3 activities, it could be Crucible, Gambit, or Vanguard, it will give you an exotic engram. You could be able to do this 3 times a week for each character. So you're going to have to complete 9 ritual activities if you want to get all 3 of the exotic engrams. Another side note, what's really cool is that for the battle pass, as what you're seeing here, all of the exotic engrams I have, I am stockpiling on them, because if you didn't know, you could basically extract every item from your previous season. This one isn't really necessary, but it's towards those people that really want to get a guarantee when it comes to maxing out Raoul. And if you want to know how you can be able to extract previous seasonal items, I will have a guide in the description. So now you're going to want to stockpile on exotic ciphers. The maximum you can be able to hold is 5. You're going to want to use these exotic ciphers on your armor piece, because if you didn't know, when you were to use an exotic cipher on a maxed out armor piece, you could be able to get additional stats to it. So it would cost Glimmer and 1 exotic cipher. So here's what it will look like if you were to put an exotic cipher on the armor piece. They are going to change it within the Edge of Fate, but here's what it looks like currently. The first method when it comes to getting these exotic ciphers is within the battle pass, as what you see here, and also here. There's going to be some in the free track, and there's mostly going to be more in the paid track. The second method to get exotic ciphers is by talking to Zur every Friday. And once you talk to Zur, there's going to be a quest for you called Xenology. All you would have to do is complete Vanguard, exotic playlist, activities, win matches in Crucible or Gambit to progress this quest. And once you max it out, talk to Zur and you'll get an exotic cipher. Also too, you can be able to get exotic ciphers from vendors like Zur, Raoul. The next material I'm going to show you isn't really necessary for the Edge of Fate, but it's towards the people that really want to get raid weapons very early. And in order for you to get them very early, you're going to want to stockpile on this material called Spoils of Conquest. This is the only currency that will help you unlock new weapons within the raid. And there is going to be a new raid when the Edge of Fate drops. And I'm going to show you guys a simple guide for solo players. And if you do this correctly, you're going to be getting 15 Spoils of Conquest a week. There is other methods when it comes to acquiring Spoils of Conquest, but this one is my personal opinion, and I feel most comfortable doing this method when it comes to getting Spoils of Conquest. And I were to load up this raid, Vow of the Disciple. But before you start this raid, be sure to keep this one in mind, that in order for you to get these spoils of Conquest, you're going to have to get at least a single item within the raid. It could be a weapon or an armor piece, because if you don't have any of those two, you're not going to be getting spoils. So once you load up the raid, you're going to want to go to this area and play it as normal. Here's what you're going to want to do. You're first going to want to kill every single abomination that spawns here. Also, watch out for the pervading darkness, because if that reaches 10 stacks, you will die. Why I told you to kill all of the abominations is because once you do, as you see here, the pervading darkness goes away. As soon as it's gone, run to these locations when it comes to opening the secret chest within this first area. This is the first area here. The next location is a bit up ahead, and as you keep on going forward, you will see the second node right here on the left side. Bada bing, bada boom. The third one is a little bit more up ahead. You got to use your sparrow or like an eagle's edge sword. Keep going forward until you see this little bridge in front of me. As soon as you see that bridge, be sure to jump over it. Once you jump over, below it, there's going to be the third and final node. Use your weapon to destroy it, as what you see here. I'm going to destroy it. Then make your way to this area all the way over here. You're going to want to jump over this wall here. As soon as you do, this door will open. Once it's open, there's going to be a chest at the end. And here it is. There's a chest. I'm going to interact with it. And as what you see on the right side, I got 5 spoils and an armor piece. It can either drop weapons or armor, but mainly for the spoils. So if you were to do this on all 3 of your characters, you're going to be getting 15 spoils a week. I wanted to keep this section at the end of the video because not many people really like doing it, but if you do want to know what it is, it's bounty prepping. Before you click off, let me explain. So for most people, such as content creators or try-hard Destiny 2 gamers, they bounty prep just because to store a boatload of XP, mainly because of the seasonal artifacts. Because if you were to stockpile XP for your bounties properly, once it's day 1 of a season or a expansion, you can be able to pretty much get 10 to 11 artifacts in day 1. But if you are one of those gamers that wants to get a bunch of XP or just want to learn how to bounty prep, I'll show you guys how to do it. So there's 3 categories for these bounties. There's weekly bounties, daily bounties, and repeatable bounties. You're first going to want to never pay attention to the repeatable bounties because those will give you 3,000 XP, your dailies will give you 6,000 XP, and your weeklies will give you 12,000 XP. So you're going to want to do your weeklies first, then your dailies. So there's going to be 30 weekly bounties in total for each character, and if you are planning on doing it on each and every character, I'm going to show you guys which vendor you're going to want to go to when it comes to collecting these weekly bounties. We're first going to start on Europa. Once you load up into Europa, you're going to want to talk to this goober right here, which is called Varix. You can actually crouch and just look at the window and you can be able to approach him. Once you do, there's going to be 4 bounties in total, but for each week, depending on your character, there's going to be 2. Some of your characters will have just 1 weekly, other characters will have 2. Just keep on collecting them until you have 4. The next 2 weekly bounties are in the Cosmodrome, and you're going to want to talk to Shah Han, and as what you see here, these are the weekly bounties for him. They're pretty easy, so go for it. The next weekly bounties is within the Dreaming City, and you're going to want to talk to Petra. She's going to move in these 3 locations. This one here, the next one is somewhere right here, and the final one is somewhere here. It's going to rotate weekly. Once you talk to Petra, she's going to have 2 weekly bounties, but in total, you're going to be getting 6. And you're probably saying like, why isn't there 6 weekly bounties? There's only 2. Well, when it comes to the Ascendant challenges, there's going to be 5 in total. So you're going to have to get an Ascendant challenge every weekly reset. So, and by the time you're watching this video, we're probably like in the 4th or 5th week, but you got to do what you got to do. Just get as much Ascendant challenges as possible each week, do them, and you get more XP. And for the other bounty is just do blind wells. It's boring, but you got to do it. The next weekly bounty is the clan bounties. You're going to want to go to the tower and talk to Hawthorne. Hawthorne has 11 clan bounties, aka each clan bounty counts as a weekly bounty. So you're going to have to do all of these activities with a clan member. But if you don't have a clan member, there is open slots in my clan. If you guys are interested, it would be in the description. The next weekly bounty you're going to want to go to is on the moon. You're going to want to talk to Eris first. There's going to be 2 vendors, but the first one is Eris. There's going to be 4 in total. 2 of them are from Eris. Just do Lost Sectors and Altars of Sorrow. The next one's going to be right next to Eris, and it's called the Lectern of Enchantment. There's going to be 2 weekly bounties. This one is just defeat nightmares and nightmare hunts, and the other one is defeat nightmares within lost sectors. The next weekly bounty is in the Eternity destination, and you're going to want to go to the Zur Treasure Hoard. Once you are there, you're going to want to talk to the Star Horse. This vendor will have only one weekly bounty for you to do. This one is just you doing Dares of Eternity, and depending on which weekly bounty it is, just complete it and you'll get the weekly bounty. The final weekly bounty is on Neptune, and you're going to want to talk to the Silver Surfer dude called the Nimbus. As soon as you talk to Silver Surfer Nimbus, the weekly challenge will be right here. All you would have to do is collect shell code fragments and complete a terminal overload and collect that chest on the right side. All right, when it comes to the daily bounties, you can choose any daily bounties you like, except from these vendors, because they are going to leave. The first one is Trials of Osiris Saint 14. The second one is Gunsmith Banshee 44. And the final one is the episodic vendors, such as Failsafe and the Apothecary Ido. These vendors are going to leave, so do not get any of those bounties. And when it comes to the other daily bounties you can get are these right here. Feel free to get them, but the only one I recommend not to get is the 801 bounties, because those don't give you that much XP. Every other destination will do. The last tip I want to mention is that when it comes to your vendors, be sure to collect each and every engram for each and every vendor within the game, because all of the engrams from these vendors, whenever Edge of Fate drops, will get deleted, aka you're not going to be able to acquire any of them. They're just going to go straight to zero. I hope you guys did enjoy this ultimate prep guide for the Edge of Fate. If there's any questions or concerns, feel free to let me know in the comments and I'll try my best to answer them. If you guys would like to see more guides like this in the near future, I would greatly appreciate if you were to hit the subscribe button, and I greatly appreciate if you were to subscribe. If you need a clan to join, we do a bunch of raids and dungeons. It would be in the description if you are interested. Anyone is welcome as long as you're not toxic.